when you actually found out about this, like when you started having these challenges, you sleep standing and stuff like that, what was the time period where you started having these problems and then where it started becoming much bigger?
It was all about survival and the change. So I was the change in the
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Expert Talk with Bhavya Desai. And today I've spoken to Mr. Shrenik Shah, who's actually a vocal cord cancer survivor or a cancer warrior, as I'd like to call him. This story and the conversation today is all about inspiration. And it is also the reason why I actually started these conversations. It was to not only satisfy the curiosity that you have as an individual to know about topics, to know about instances, it is also to understand and know inspirational stories like him who have not only battled a life-threatening condition, but also championed it to come out on the better side of it. Not too many people can do this, and you really need to be a very, very strong individual to do stuff like this. And also, if you've noticed, we've broken the mold of releasing our podcast on Friday just specifically for this episode, because being 19 January, this is the 10,000th day of his survival post 1997 when he got operated. And it is also the birthday of the surgeon who operated on him, which was almost 20 odd years back, where technology was very limited. So this podcast is commemorated to him, of course, and also Shrenik Bhai and all of the other cancer survivors who have gone through these sort of challenges, especially when it comes to vocal cancer. Of course, if you like this story, if you like our work, then please subscribe to our channel. You can also look at us or hear the audio podcast of this. Do let us know in the comments as well, how did you find this? Because this truly is a journey of someone who uses an external device to communicate. Like how you and I communicate normally with words, he really has to actually depend on that device to talk. So really a special one. I hope you like it, and see you in the next one. So, hello, Shrenik Bhai, and welcome to Expert Talk with Bhavya Desai. First of all, how are you feeling?
superb. Incredible. And let me add one more point. At times people don't believe what of that mathematics on a उपचार एक बार लो કે 12 વાગે ને 5 મિનિટ કોઈ કામ શરૂ કરીએ ને એટલે પૂજાએ મુહૂર્ત અને પૂજાએ મુહૂર્તમાં કામ કરો ને એટલે તમારે પાછો વળીને જવું ના પડે.
That's great. That's true as well. So again, welcome. I'm very, very, how do I say? I'm very excited. But more than excited, I'm feeling a lot inspired, because not often do you get a chance to meet people in your life who have really gone through some major challenges, and then they are able to champion it, and not just champion it, they are actually able to go beyond. So that's why I'm very, very inspired today. And you don't get a chance for that to happen many times in life. So that's why I wanted to kind of just take this opportunity, first of all, to thank you for, of course, coming to the show. I wanted to talk about, of course, your condition, and I wanted to break it down into two halves. One half is where we talk about what are the challenges, what is the condition, what is sort of mental strength required, and then in the second half, I want to understand that how is it that you championed this this condition that you had. So first up, if you can just tell us what this condition is, if you can just start with that.
Of course, I would love to, but then yet again, I would like to add a bit spices to our talk.
Understand.
we met simply because of purity of intentions
Yes.
and purity of minds.
Right.
Because, I am living in Ahmedabad, you are in Mumbai, of course, in digital world, the distance is zero,
Right.
but still making things happen, that matters.
Absolutely.
So that is the kind of a start I would like to share with you. Well, see, 27 years ago, I was diagnosed with the stage 4 vocal cord cancer. Well, I had no habit of smoking, never tried tobacco, completely strict and following change into a change religion, and so therefore, obviously strict vegetarian and non-alcoholic, and till end of 1996, I was having unnatural voice, like, a common human being, and my natural voice started changing from natural voice to hoarseness and then into whispering condition. As I said, since I had no habit, I was not at all suspecting cancer occurring in my body. Of course, I lost my weight by 15 kilos during that first half of 1997, but at the same time, due to no other history or no other habits, there was no reason to suspect cancer is occurring. And then, during the second quarter of 1997, I had a severe problem with the breathing. I was literally unable to lay flat on the bed. I was most of the time sleeping on a standing condition, and one thing very peculiar, I had my office on fifth floor. When I was getting into elevator at ground floor and want to reach fifth floor, in between for ground and fifth floor, I was sleeping while standing in elevator. That was the situation. But here again, there was no clue that cancer is developing, and the condition was so terribly bad that even at night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I was asking my wife Neelam to take me to Adira for bathing. But then yet again there was no clue, and then one fine morning I started bleeding in my cup. I went to see my physician, Dr. Desai, Shrenik Desai, a real good friend of mine, and he said, Shrenik bhai, let's not gamble with your life. I want you to go to cancer surgeon right away. Now, Bhavya, see the pleasure of mind, see the pleasure of mind without wasting single minute or thinking otherwise. Me and my wife went to see cancer surgeon. My eldest son Maulik, he was studying in Sydney at that time. The younger one, Ankit, he was in 11. So we just went to the cancer surgeon, Dr. Also Patel. A young chap, I guess he was 37 at that time. He saw me, he saw me. I mean, literally breathing as if I was in the bottom of the swimming pool. And he would immediately realize what is really going on. He examined me, and he said, Shrenik bhai, you are into advanced stage of open bone cancer. Now, when he said you are into advanced stage of open bone cancer, neither me nor my wife had any absolutely zero zero reaction. We simply ask one simple question: what is the solution? And what is forbidden is it. We will have to perform surgery. I mean, first we will have to do laparoscopy, biopsy, and then massive surgery. So, without any further discussion, ask only one thing: what do you want me to get admitted? And he said, Shrenik bhai, trust me, you don't have much of the time left. And so he said, you can get admitted tomorrow. Fine. Now, because there was no web browsers, nothing. And yes, there were too many senior cancer surgeons available in Ahmedabad, but we deeply, I'm deeply the one we deeply trusted into our had trust in the doctor. We did not know for any other opinion, but we went back. Next day, I went to the surgery, to the hospital. It was a private clinic, got admitted, and laparoscopy was not I mean, planning is, I mean, they have researched the human and they examine everything. Now, you know, during too many of my TEDx talks, and particularly when I'm delivering talks in medical colleges, I do mention by default, to most medical students and even doctors that when you are a doctor, three things are important. Number one, empathy. Number two, intelligence. And number three, smart, intelligent, and quick decision. I mean, you cannot simply play, you cannot play shot in dark. Use your head.
Right.
And don't think otherwise. Just make sure that you are in your role to survive or giving life to the patient. So we intelligently perform tracheostomy. Tracheostomy is a kind of a hole in the middle of the throat. Why that was done? Because when he examined me through scopy, he found that the tumor is becoming bigger and bigger, and it was probably the opening of trachea or opening of the windpipe. Now, if by any chance he would have waited to see, to think, I would have not been sitting in front of you today. So, he performed tracheostomy. Biopsy was done in those days. The reports were not coming so
As
easily.
fast as possible.
And 5 days later, the report came, and as he suspected, it was stage 4A. Now, when we met him first time, he said, Shrenik bhai, we will have to remove your vocal cord, and you will not be able to speak for all your life. Here again, neither me nor my wife, we had no reaction at all, because it was all about survival. It was all about survival. अगर जिएंगे तो आवाज अगर जिएंगे नहीं तो आवाज है या नहीं है, it doesn't matter. And that's how the first surgery was done. Later on, the next as the report came, and it was as it was advanced stage. So matching surgery, 9.5 hours numbers down both side of the neck was open.
I want to come to that. I mean,
Yeah.
I know, I understand, like, that can be a very challenging process. I also actually want to talk to you about your wife and family, because I think it's impossible to do stuff like this without their support. And I can see, like, when I met you guys today, I can clearly understand that she's a really important rock for you. Of course, she's here as well. The time when you actually found out about this, like when you started having these challenges, where you said that when you were in the elevator, you'd sleep for you'd sleep standing and stuff like that. So, what was the time period where you started having these problems, and then where it started becoming much bigger?
I guess around 3 months.
3 months. Okay. So I mean, when your voice started going, then you still waited, or did you immediately start consulting with the
No,
doctors?
actually, I mean, when my voice changed from natural to arsonist and to whispering, I consulted to best of the best ENT specialists in Ahmedabad.
Okay.
They did examine, but somehow,
Unfortunately, they missed
yeah,
it.
they missed it.
Hmm.
And even when CD and everything was given, my surgeon said that, I mean, he would say dinner rooms and everything on my vocal cord, but, I mean, that is no reason to complain because whatever that happened is happened.
I
And
understand.
there is no point in any kind of repair responsibility. I consider this, I'm grateful that, those specialists is made because, I consider that as a blessing in disguise, but otherwise I would have never been able to speak like this.
Understand. Yeah. No, I mean, I completely understand. The reason I'm asking you this is because I want the viewers to understand how important it is to take timely action, especially when it comes to your health. So that's why I wanted to kind of understand what is that time period between those kind of symptoms.
For 3 months, I mean, 12
3
to
months.
15 weeks.
Okay. Can you just break down like what are the sort of symptoms apart from hoarseness where like in terms of like a stages where you then need to consult, like as you said, first ENT, and then so can you just tell us a little bit about that? What are the symptoms like?
But, of course, as I said earlier, there is a change in voice
Right.
from husband to business. That's one thing. And then I had an acute breathing problem. Acute means unbearable. It was like, you are at the bottom of the swimming pool and trying to breathe and survive. And simultaneously, I started losing my weight as well. I lost my weight around 15 kilos in that 3 months time.
Hmm. And in terms of like, so that you were basically feeling, you said that you were sleeping while standing itself. That's because you were getting tired, or what was the reason for that?
I guess if I am, I would like to mention precisely that, I was having a problem with the breathing, leg of extra oxygen taking, or rather, leg of having enough adequate air in my lungs. So, all the time I was feeling, sleepy and things like that.
So when you went to the surgeon, Dr. Desai, and obviously he told you that you were at stage 4, what was the? I know you said that both of you didn't really ask anything. He's like, when you want to get admitted, but there must have been something mentally that must have gone on. How did that feel?
Fortunately, during my earlier phase, that is of life 1-0, being into international marketing, I am, and I am going to remain a troubleshooter. That means I don't analyze what is happened now, what is next. Important is what is next. You need to create this cycle. I mean, you cannot wait, you cannot gamble, you cannot play short in dark. That's it. So instead of analyzing, you know, we just simply found what the solution for survival.
Right. No, I understand that. I mean, like, there's no point in looking at hindsight as to why. But my question is more in terms of not why it happened, but how did it make you feel? Because as you said that your elder son was in Sydney, your one son was like studying here, of course, your wife as well. So there must have been some sort of a, it's, I mean, let's be honest. And again, as I say, I mean it with like the utmost respect. as well as the utmost humility when because this is not usual, right? It's not something like you've fallen down or it's it's a loss. It's a big loss. So that's why I want to just try and understand, and I want to use that as an example for our viewers to try and understand that look, how is it that you can champion stuff like this, especially because everything is in here, right? It's all here. That's why.
Um, in one word, I would say it was all about mindfulness. Absolutely mindfulness. Number one. Number two, focus mindset. And then what is next step that was important in my life. And fortunately, my wife needed 3 years cooperated like anything.
What was the risk when you decided? There is, let's be honest, there was no other option. You had to get operated. What was the risk factor in terms of when you had to undergo the surgery? What did the doctor say?
I don't think I found anything as a reason for simple reason that I not underwent that two what the two surgeries in two different parts. I would have not survived. So there was no point in thinking about this about what this for the surgery. I mean, of course, it was my default, but then it was a clear mind that come on me. Let's get rid of because I was literally unable to breathe. So not negative events to happen if I would have not chose the option of surgery. So that's it.
In terms of, you said that the surgery was like in two parts. Can you tell us what was that?
Well, the first part, that was a technical and is examining the situation inside my throat, particularly pertaining to vocal cord, number one. And number two, as I said earlier, he performed the tracheostomy because tumor was expanding like anything. So, and then, he had to divert my breathing system. And this tracheostomy is a permanent hold for the lifetime. And particularly to many students and during my medical talks, I am telling them categorically that for me this tracheostomy is like a 8-lane super express highway. I can now this nose my nose is only a $1 million ornament in a battle. अगर अगर एक घंटा बैठेंगे it won't make any difference.
Okay. So, can you explain to us, like, what is this? How did they? So, is this a very unique sort of a scenario in your case, or that's a standard scenario that happens in vocal cord cancer?
No, for all vocal cord cancer victims, patients, survivors, etc., tracheostomy is by default. And by default, they need to divert the breathing system from nose to the trachea or into the middle of the throat. It's about 1 inch diameter throat, and you need to protect it from foreign material and water, etc.
Understand. Okay. So that means technically, even if you're so long story short, you are not breathing from the nose anymore. Yeah, you basically are breathing through your throat. Okay. In terms, sorry.
I am very pleased when this can take place 24/7, and whoever is undergoing vocal cancer surgery, I am sending this for their safety because oxygen is to be given here and not here.
Yes, yeah, very important. I think that's very important to know. In terms of the the operation? Like, can you just tell us? You said it took 9 hours. Wow.
Yeah, the throat was open like two sides of window, and the vocal cord were removed. But it is a massive surgery. And one more point, while removing the vocal cord, there was a necessity of removing thyroid, part of the thyroid or a part of the thyroid, depending upon the disease. Number two and number three, uh, you know, when the surgery was performed, there were 56 nodes. 56 nodes were removed from right to left. You can see the shape here. It's good smart decision that I'm sitting on on a left side instead of right, so that
It's not visible.
yeah. So that was the case, and yes, so it took a long time, and then this is why precise surgery is performed, and I'm grateful to him for all my life.
I understand. Uh, when you have a challenge like vocal cord cancer, what is the, as you said, the tumor was spreading. What are the other areas that it can affect if you are not, if you don't visit the doctor in time?
There was, I don't think there was any possibility of visiting or doing anything else because I would have not survived. So that's exactly 1,000% fact that I not underwent the surgery. I would have not been here. It is as simple as that. And one thing I would like to add, you know, I guess now there are 27 days from today's 24th, right? There are 24 days left to celebrate my 10,000th day as a woman with cancer survivor. 10,000th day.
I want to now come to the aspect, like you said, that obviously it was a 9 hour surgery, and then there was no other option for you. Um, he told you that after this surgery, you're not going to be able to speak. So, is that a common thing which happens with any vocal cord?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's like a car. I mean, if there is no engine in the car is of no use. It's as simple as that. So, when the someone is diagnosed with this vocal cord cancer and removed,
Right.
that means, I mean, he or she cannot sleep for the lifetime.
Understand. And in terms of like normal activity, once you have this surgery, uh, is there any practical change in what you do, like eating habits, or can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, see, whatever it is that, you know, because of the tracheostomy, since the breathing through this diverted, normally, normally people, I mean, in a medical word, it is known as a laryngotomy, right? So, laryngotomy to face a problem with the swallowing, problem with the drinking, and in most cases, whoever is facing such issues or whoever is going to watch which podcast, I am giving two suggestions. Number one, eat smaller bites. What you have been eating earlier, make it smaller bites. That's number one. And number two, raise your eating duration at least by 50%. So, in our case, if you are eating in 20 minutes, if you are an enjotomy, you need to slow down, you need to have a more eating time, like 40 minutes or whatever. And same in the case with drinking water as well, because emphasized that after this tracheostomy, you will certainly face such problems.
Understand. So basically, eat smaller bites and then increase the duration of
Absolutely, absolutely. Otherwise, you will start chopping like anything.
Understand. And in terms of like eating whatever you want, that in terms of spicy food and stuff like that, all remains same. No
Yeah,
issues.
yeah. That I mean, of course, I'm not saying vegetarian, but those who are not vegetarian, they have to be more careful while eating non-vegetarian food. That can chop them much easily.
Understand. What is the chance that even after a surgery that this can be done?
When say here there are two remarkable points. Number one, if you have a previous history of smoking, tobacco, consuming such drugs, the chances of recurrence are fairly much higher. And sometimes when I'm giving talk about tobacco cessation, I mean stopping tobacco or smoking, I do mention that because I have never consumed tobacco, because I have never smoked, I'm currently I'm into 28th year my survivorship, but then here again there are a couple of things my doctor performed medical surgery, no doubt about it. That's number one. Number two, I underwent 30 rounds of radiotherapy all over my neck. My neck turned like charcoal, but then slowly it recovered to a normal state. So and then here again, I don't think there is any thumb rule for recurrent cancer. And in modern policies, you need to stay away from public places for at least initially 5 years. 5 years. And also form of passive smoking. Trust me, since I underwent surgery for 5 years, and then even later on, I have avoided going to public places. Me and my wife, no restaurant. Of course, now we are going public, but occasionally. So, inhaling smoke, etc., that causes a lot of problem. But then here again, if something goes wrong, don't sit as it is. Why don't sit? Why consult whoever you believe, consult cancer specialist. Don't gamble. And one more point: if you are not medical professional, don't follow anything mentioned on web browsers, and don't be a doctor if you are not qualified. Don't gamble with your life. Why don't gamble with your don't pledge on the dot. Get everything diagnosed, treated, and follow all treatment protocols. And one more point I would like to add that in such cases, the alternative therapies cannot be followed. Cannot be followed by default. कोई बोलेगा कि ये तरह से हो जाएगा, एक बार में unfortunately you are misguiding your specialist, and then a time will come the doctor will बोलेगा कि sorry, I mean
Nothing
now
can be done.
yes.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, because I mean you're absolutely right. Actually, it is a very Indian thing to do this, wherein we always consult people and they'll be like, "Arey, you always have like this jugaad and stuff like that. So let's do this and we can actually."
I trust me, Bhavya, I never listen to anybody. That's number one. And number two, I play my own game and I strictly follow my cancer specialist. Merely cancer specialist like a god. And why? Let me ask you, why a cancer surgeon will harm you? Is he your enemy? No. That you need to trust him or you need to trust her. That's it. And if you are not qualified, you cannot gamble, you cannot play on the dark. No way. Or forget about or other advices. I mean, not coming from other than medical professional. No way.
Understand. Right. So this, matlab, you said that when anybody undergoes this surgery, like almost for you have to be extremely careful, and almost for like 5 years, you probably can't like really move outside. How does that change your life?
For the same, I guess it is a situational arrangement or say that is a symbology. If you have to survive, you have to follow.
Mm.
I mean, if you want to live, you have to move it. It's as simple as that. So you really don't have any choice anyway.
Mm. I understand. When did this thought come to you that now that you can? How did you come across the technology that you have?
But that is a commendable experience, or I would say remarkable experience. So after radiotherapy, I had to use pen and paper to communicate
Communicate.
with everybody, which was, trust me, it was sheer helplessness because if you want writing, somebody would read,
Mm.
they can speak, you can listen, but again, when you want to communicate, you have to write, and in my case, it was like I was into marketing, so it was much more like Joe, old guy, very big guy, and I lost my voice.
Mm.
I mean, I was at the peak of my journey as an international marketer, and well, in those days there was no internet, no mobile phone, so you have to keep on speaking, and speaking, and I lost my voice. So 3 months was a absolutely catastrophic situation. Absolutely. I mean, frustrating, anger, cheer, and you can use anyone you want. And then, fortunately, my surgeon advised that anyway, you can speak with the electrolarynx, this device. Now, I got this device from US, and that was in December 1997. Uh, there was no trainer available in Ahmedabad or rather not in India. The short form is known as a SNB, SNB, that is speech language therapist, who
Mm.
can train you how to speak, how to devise. So in that day, in those days, there was no trainer available,
Mm.
and so I have seen the book, and then Bhavya, for 1 week straight, 1 week relentlessly, I kept on practicing standing in front of mirror how to speak with this device. Now, what was, what is the magic? You need to find out the sweet spot under your chin where you place this device head and you speak so that, when you speak, you are audible. Now, the one of the most, I would not say embracing situation, but I consider this as a blessing in disguise. That when I started speaking with this device in public, I mean, of course, I am from Ahmedabad, so people were scared, people were running away, people were looking at me like, what is really happening, we are watching some TV shows or film where, you can feel like a normal voice. So they were rather shocked and they were running away. But Bhavya, trust me, I am deeply, deeply, deeply grateful to all those individuals who rejected my voice because that rejection of my voice ignited the fire from within. And you can imagine you want to speak, you have intelligence, you have everything, you have wisdom, you want to speak, and when words are not coming out, words are trapped in mouth, you know, you go crazy, you go wild, right? So that rejection ignited fire from within. That come what may, I am going to speak. Well, whatever people feel, it matters because I cannot manage without speaking.
True.
And that's how I continue speaking all the way. And here I am today sitting in front of you.
Yeah. I want to talk about the device as well, but before that, like you said that it was frustrating to because you could not talk those 3 or 4 months, whatever. Did you go to dark places when you were in that frustration? Because and it's natural, right? It is not like like thoughts run to your head when frustration at some point of time creeps in, becomes too much.
I would say yes to some extent, but I was rather looking at the light on the other side of the tunnel. There was HOPE in my life that yes, I'm going to speak one day because of that suggestion this device that okay, it is not right time, let radiotherapist finish, we get it, and then we will try it out. So, it was all about uh, seeing the tunnel and seeing the light at the other side of the tunnel.
Hmm. What was chemotherapy like?
No, I mean I was not even chemotherapy.
Radiation.
So radiation is a thing one. I guess. And you are the only one. You have to lay down on the table. The mod is something like 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks taken as closed, and then they prepare a mask and place a mask where radiation is to be given. Of course, nowadays the technology has changed, advanced technology is available as well, but then they were preparing a mask and then radiotherapy or radiation is given on the affected area, and this is essential because whatever the cancer cells which cannot be removed through surgery can be destroyed through radiotherapy, and I guess you are given it is a high voltage radiotherapy. Nobody is allowed in the room, and the engineer or physician is manage everything under the observation of the radiotherapist, and that's it. So, but I must tell you that depending upon the stage, depending upon whatever you have been advised, like surgery, radiotherapy, and if necessary chemotherapy, one should not stop or one should not opt out of undergoing such maneuvers. I mean, they need to follow this absolutely by default. By default, I mean, if that it is in your interest, if you want to survive, go for it.
I understand. How many radiation sessions did you have to do?
30.
Wow.
So it was Monday to Friday every week. And yes, my wife, she was bringing me a juice, little orange juice, so that I can have a juice after radiotherapy. But then yet again, the game got a कार बिगड़ ली है तो engine तो training कराना ही पड़ेगा. You need them. So it's absolutely by default.
Yeah, I mean, I completely understand that it's a necessity in your case, but so it's like Monday to Friday, only Saturday, Sunday break, and then Monday to Friday again. So like that for a month. Wow. Are there any side effects to?
Yes, as I say, the skin done like a charcoal, everything black, black, black. But then couple of months, 3 months later, it get back to normal.
And apart from that, internally into the body, no. Okay, because as they say always that radiation it affects good and bad cells both.
Yeah, that's right. But fortunately, I mean, I'm fortunate that I know the side effect.
Right.
And since I'm not a medical professor, I cannot give any further comment on this aspect.
Understand. Let's come to the device again. So this was suggested to you by your surgeon. Okay, and at that point of time, it was only available in America, and now is it available here?
Yeah, now it is available in India, Delhi, Mumbai. Yes.
Okay, and do usually people who've gone through vocal cancer use this device, or it is kind of still a very small percentage, or it's unique?
Well, actually, there are two procedures are available. One is electrolarynx, which is outside device, and then there is a voice prosthesis. It's like a button. That button is to be placed in the trachea. You have to place a finger on trachea, and then you can speak. Yeah, and I would say, I don't know, I would say 85-90% people are using voice prosthesis as it is electrolarynx.
Understand. But is it, and again, I don't mean to intrude, but is that overall process commercially is like really expensive to actually have this technology versus that technology?
Well, see, as I understand, when someone is using voice prosthesis, he or she needs a replacement depending upon device, depending upon usage, etc. It needs replacement after 2 to 3 years. For electrolytics, this is excellent device. So much as the device is working without impedance, in 27 years, this is my third device.
Oh, okay, understand. All right. So if I understand this correctly, basically this device actually takes your, what you're saying, it just amplifies it as an output.
Yeah. So let me explain. There is a head here on top of the device. So whatever I want to speak, it catches the movement of the muscle under my chin, right? And that is transformed into sound.
And you said earlier that there is like a specific spot that you actually have to. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, so as I said earlier, you need to find a sweet spot because it's all about connection. हम लोग जो say we are charging mobile phone now. If you don't put it in a right place, it won't get charged. Same formula applies here. That you need to place a device in such a nice way that you are audible. Of course, I can place here, but I find that this is the best place, and then over a period of time to a practice, you don't need to struggle. You can just go on.
I understand. And over the years of like the movement in terms of technology as well, this as an external device is still the best solution that can be offered.
Well, I don't think I will be able to comment or suggest anything, but I can give you only one response to this. In 2008, my surgeon offered me that voice prosthesis.
Okay.
I can do it for free and you can try it, etc. Now, it was nearly 10 years I have been speaking with his voice. My identity was known with his voice. So I was very comfortable. And then my wife, my sons, they also mentioned that, this is your identity and better don't work for the voice purposes. And then, in my opinion, I guess to me, my personal experience is electrolarynx is a better option than voice pulses. But then here again, it varies from person to person, and then maybe the surgeon or speech language therapist can give a better option depending upon the patient condition.
Situation. Right. So, in this case as well, as you mentioned that this is like the identity in terms of your voice. So, does the device basically what is this device called?
Which is electrolarynx,
Okay.
electrolarynx, and I am rather using a single brand. That is the name of this is from Servox, and it's a subsidiary of Siemens, Germany.
Okay.
And I found that the clarity of the voice is superior as against any other brand.
Understand. So there are multiple devices from a lot of companies available. Of course, you're using the ones which is from technically Siemens, right? The Servox, as you said. Does this allow you to also make adjustments to get the output of the voice that you want?
Yes, I mean there are two buttons. One is for bass, one is for treble. So
Okay.
it's half different.
Mm.
But I'm rather using treble because of course I am not an angel, but at least I don't want to bore the people with the bass voice. So
Understand.
I'm using treble.
Understand. And in the other technology as well, which where of course it's inserted, so that also works on a similar sort of a concept, or that concept
Yeah,
is
yeah. Similar concept, yes.
okay.
Similar concept. But then they might be using technology here and there, but the overall performance is similar.
Understand. And in that also, in that is just one button which you basically press when you have to talk. So when you talk, whatever is the output, it comes out. It comes out. That's it. So in that case, it is directly coming from the inside, where that is also still looking at your vocal cord in terms of in terms of attaching to a specific muscle and then amplifying that sound.
Yeah, so as I said earlier, this device is serving a purpose of amplifying, and it is catching the movement of the muscles inside my chin, and then it is transformed or rather transformed into voice and amplified.
Understand.
And that's how the session work.
Right. And this requires charging regularly, or
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, in those days, there was a special battery available. You need to charge. I am getting 5, 6 batteries, and I need to charge batteries overnight, like mobile phone. But of late, the companies offering similar device where you can place a 3 type 4 batteries, disposable batteries, and you can use it. But I mean, I'm fine with this. So let's see.
what is the cost of this device for anyone who wants to?
Well, the device, the cost of device varies. I mean, I can say until $18 in Italy. It is in the range of between $700 to $1,000,
Okay.
and I guess in India you get around 70, 75, 80,000.
Understand. And you said that in the last since '97, you've gone through 3 devices. So that's I'd say about like 8 to 9 years for one device. That's how much it.
No, not really. Actually, I lost one device. I mean, I got a business, so I had to buy one. One more device fall down and it didn't work. So this is the third device. This is the 40 boys, and I still have one more in as an extra, so that if something goes wrong, I don't want to get stuck up. So I always carry with me.
Understand. I want to also just ask about the practical challenges. Like, for example, as you said that you travel quite a bit, of course, because you speak quite a lot. So, do you require any special permissions, any special letters,
No,
anything of
no,
that
no,
sort?
no, absolutely no.
No.
On the contrary, I consider quite actually that I am having a privilege.
I understand. And in terms of like airports as well, check-in and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Absolutely. Of course, the security, etc. They ask, but then without this device, I cannot speak. So I use sign, and then I show how I'm speaking, and they let me go.
Understand. Right. I want to talk a little bit about, you know, at what stage do you felt that you reached this level and then you kind of accomplished what you did? Because I think I want to kind of talk a little bit about the emotional and the mental side of this as well.
Um, well, I guess there were two commendable experience I had. First was in 2011. My cancer surgeon called me up,
Mm.
like somebody's having same stages on what you had in 1997, and why don't you come over and counsel him? So I went there, I spoke with I attended all my year and listened to the patient, and then and his family, and well, I could convince him. I counseled him for an hour,
Mm.
and he was initially was detected for undergoing surgery.
Mm.
So about 1 hour of my counseling, he has agreed for the surgery. Doctor commanded Shrenik Bhai where, and we could we could perform the surgery. Now the cat was, I know that in this life I cannot be a doctor,
Mm.
but indirectly I could play a small role as a counselor to give, to survive the life of someone.
Mm.
So that experience of 1 hour ignited a new fire, it given me a new direction of the life. Despite being a international marketer, जो बोलता है वही बनता है.
Mm.
मैं tornado captured, and then I started counseling patients, then group walking, etc. And then so that, and see, ये क्या होता है कि जब easily जान बच जाती है, if somebody is able to manage, कोई कॉम्प्लीमेंट देता है, कोई कॉम्प्लीमेंट, but ये that matters. लेकिन अगर किसी की जान बच गई, that means that is adding a passion within me to do more.
Mm.
And that's how I did. And then yes, and then that was a Google launch in our Ahmedabad. That was 10 ongoing emerging narratives of 10 cancer winners. I was interviewed, and when the book was launched, I was not knowing that my journey, my story was featured in the first chapter.
Mm.
And the title of the chapter was I Am Here to Stay.
Mm.
So book was launched, and suddenly my name was announced. Shrenik Bhai, come on the stage and share your journey. I spoke for about 20-25 minutes, and here again, yes, I am a very good storyteller, yes, but when it comes to dealing with the people, I don't make stories.
Mm.
I don't make stories. I'm straightforward.
Yes.
And so I got standing ovation. So that second experience brought me into public speaking, and since then I have delivered talks in US, UK, and IIM Ahmedabad, cancer hospital, wherever. But then yet again, it is not important what I have achieved. Important is how I have achieved. A good advice from Advaita, but then but each accomplishment is adding value in your life, adding passion, and then I think it was all about passion and purpose and priorities.
Yeah, I think it's important because uh, from your experience, it also inspires everybody who actually is going to follow that path. And I think that's extremely important. And which is what I feel is the biggest contribution where stories like you make to, vocal cord cancer, because you always require those people who can inspire, who can always be the shining light, the beacon of light. So it's interesting. Um, I wanted to ask you, when you said that this is the journey been, but how much time did it take after your surgery to kind of fully recover? I know you said that 5 years you can't really move outside, but I mean to say, like, recover in general. What is the timeline?
I was back to work after 4 months of my massive surgery. So I guess the January 1998, I was back to work full time.
I understand. What is the advice that you'd give to family and friends of people who undergo a challenge like vocal cord cancer? I know it's a question for your family, but I would like to know your perspective.
Bhavya, let me, before I answer your specific question, let me add one thing. I mean, not about quote unquote cancer, but anybody who is victim of any kind of disease. The of life of a man or woman who is having such kind of disability or challenges, disease challenges, etc., is or life is incomplete without caregiver. Is absolutely incomplete without caregiver, and same thing applies to my wife Neelam as well, and my sons, my daughter-in-laws, my three grandsons, everyone, because see, see, the important catch is they are always willing to support you, that if not willing, they are always committed to support you by default with zero expectation. That is the first and foremost thing. And number two, they don't look at you with the mercy. They don't look at you as a with the sympathy, right? And then they don't look at you as someone who is having forever disability. They consider you as a same person what you were before. So I think that is the beauty of caregiver at any point of time, and this is not applicable only to mobile board cancer donor. This is applicable to everyone on this planet, and I would rather love to dedicate this podcast to the caregivers of the entire planet.
That's really nice. You recently were featured in Times Square. You want to tell us about that?
But for your getting featured on a Times Square, it's a fortune. It costs you a fortune. I am not a celebrity. I am absolutely Bangla Gujarati, Ahmedabadi, and down to earth person. And I guess due to my team, I mean, since 2011 until now, I guess I have delivered over 9,000 hours of drugs. I got inspired over 100,000 lives, and I'm a to mention two things, that I'm having acquaintances with over 500 oncologists globally, and yeah, and say one more point I would like to add you that this voice has given me distinct identity and USP when I'm calling a cancer specialist. Sir, or madam, I'm Shrenik Shah, someone needs more for you. I get immediate appointment and sort of patient with him whoever they get someone. I don't think that would be a better gift from Almighty that is किसी का काम मिनटों में हो जाए, and that is the beauty of this voice. So and that what I'm saying that this is my distinct identity and it's God's blessings only. And on the other hand, let me add that I mean I am 360-degree surrounded by countless well-wishers from all over the world. I guess I would have met only 5 or 10% people in person, otherwise all digitally. So there is no complaint, no regret. No regret. And life is absolutely thrilling and thrilling.
Of course, you've dedicated your life now and I can see that passion coming across so clearly. What is it that you want to actually achieve now in terms of like moving forward? Are there any goals, objectives that you've set out?
Yes. You know, before I answer that particular question, during one of my direct talk in Ahmedabad, that was a medical college. I was telling the medical students that don't look at ceiling on the opposite at KBC. Look at ceiling opposite towards it. So, you need to dream. Unless you dream, don't dream. Unless you don't do your goal, life becomes useless. And I am following 5 P's. Number one, clear purpose. Number two, priorities, top priorities. Number three, action. Number four, perseverance. And last but never the least, performance. ये चार का कॉम्बिनेशन करके वो जो क्या बोलते हैं सबवे का है ना सबवे डिलाइट बनाएंगे ना तो है ना लाइफ बिकम फैंटास्टिक फैबुलस.
So just last couple of questions, and one of them I feel is very important. I don't know how comfortable you are answering that, but I'd still like to give it a shot. You said you were an international marketer, which means that obviously speaking was important to you. And from understanding what I am understanding a little bit, I think you were pretty good at it. When life changed, these things changed. How do you survive now? I mean, in general sense, like I know obviously you have a family who obviously must be supporting you and all of those great things. But I actually want to ask a very bare basic question. How do you survive today? And I don't mean any disrespect I I just want to be very upfront and very clear.
No, don't worry.
Yeah.
Let me play a small audio and then, we go further to your question.
Okay.
So this audio, so now what me this is fast but I have learned everything from all these challenges. I learned from adversities, and trust me, Bhavya, my exposure in international marketing, dealing with the people, different kinds, Japanese, Chinese, American, and taking things happen, you know, make this possible to transform the adversities, challenges into exceptional opportunities. And when people get scared, when people are, having a withdrawal, that okay, I lost my voice, and man, one more thing, oh yeah, when I was diagnosed, I was 44. I worked for CM, I mean, 2010 I worked, and I had a very decision at the age of 60 to get retired because I have no voice. But I decided not to retire, and trust me, my wife is fighting with me. Trust me, I'm going to work in my mind and body support absolutely. There is no compromise whatsoever. And trust me, this is beautiful life. And one more thing, when you have this particular dedication, when you have this commitment, which on a depression, you are in a depression for depression and anxiety emotion, I guarantee that.
I understand. Great. I understand you've also written a book as well, so I just want to take this opportunity to show everybody the book, which is, of course, it's a story about you naturally, but it's been written by somebody else. So where is this available?
This is available on Amazon.
It's Amazon. So in case if you want to hear about the story further and really in detail, you can get it on Amazon. So that's really interesting. Thank you.
I want to add
Yes,
one point here with the title. I mentioned I'm Gujarati, proud Indian, and so on. And well, I say this book was curated and published during the COVID time. I think we have completed the entire manuscript in around 8 to 10 weeks. As it was COVID time, we could not do it official launch of the book, and we did it. Digitally. Now, when the book was completed, Jasvi, the author Ian Sam, he suggested the title as Hands Up, and I introduced Jasvi. I cannot accept this title because I'm a common man, and there is nothing particular I have done in my life, and I don't deserve this title. So he sent me a voucher. So either you accept the title or we are not going ahead with this book. So I had to give up. And for I don't know what is your next question, but I want to add one important point here. Imagine you are facing a bouncer from Bumrah. Now you have a choice. Either you can eat your head, you can eat you anywhere, either you get bowled out, but if you have a clear purpose, if you have a focused mindset, and when you align your entire body from head to toe, you can fit into helicopter 6. And once you get dropped, once your catch is dropped, you are bound to out for a sanctuary. And that's it.
That's great. I think that's a great note to end on, especially with the cricket analogy. Thank you so much, Shrenik Bhai, for coming here and doing this. It was, as I said, really humbling, really inspiring. And these are the sort of things why we've started these conversations as well, so that we don't just satisfy the curiosity that we have inside us, but also so that we can, use examples like you, stories like you to inspire people. And you are surely a beacon of that.
Thank you. I guess I would like to add one point here, a bit for listeners and whoever is going to watch this um, recording at any point of time. Stay in the situation of treatment fashion in a taxi mode. Get ready to take off like 800 and make sure that you touch the horizon, and when you have that particular momentum, you are simply unstoppable, and unstoppable. And God will be always behind you to accomplish your goals and dreams. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks.